I'm Sarah Yates, and I live here in Brigham City. And I'm a graduate of the University of Utah in journalism and history. And I came to Brigham City and started working for the News Journal and worked there, for a lot of years at home while my children were young, and then went back to work. And I was managing editor for 9 years before I retired. And I got involved in AAUW back pretty far. I can't remember how far, but I discovered that I really loved organizations that talked about something besides diapers. And I liked an organization that talked about foreign policy and education and citizenship. So I really loved AAUW, and League of Women Voters were my organizations of choice at the time. Joan.
I'm Joan Peterson. I have 2 degrees from Utah State, a bachelor's and a master's degree, and I got those while I was raising my children, and then I started running the library at Box Elder High School, and did that for quite a few years, and then found AAUW and joined it with the expectation, as Sarah said, it was talking about something besides diapers and what went on at home, and besides we did something. And the scholarship that we gave for many years, we were always very proud of that we could do something to help someone. And we always looked for people who needed the help, and then the money was being well used. So I appreciated and enjoyed that.
We started the scholarship in 1990. A lady named Ellen Oakright, who's no longer with us, started it. And the idea was that there were a lot of scholarships for graduating seniors, etc., but not for women who were going back, because so many women went a couple years of college and got their MRS and put somebody else through college, etc., and then in later years wanted to go back to college. So it was planned for a Box Elder County woman who was returning to higher education. And of course AAUW is about higher education. You are a college or university graduate in order to be a member. And so we look at education very seriously.
We're so delighted that USU now has a big presence in Brigham City. This should help lots of people, or some people anyway, to be able to complete their education. And we always enjoyed giving the scholarships, and we used to have a luncheon to celebrate it every year, to celebrate the winners, and it felt like we did some good that way.
And we've had some fun success stories. We've had some sad stories from applicants as we go through the applications, but we've had so many. We've received thank yous, and we've seen some real successes from the women who have received those scholarships, gone back to school, and then thrived. And that's makes you feel very good. Actually, we donated to Utah State University per se, so it can go to any student that's with Utah State. You know, they could even live in Price, I guess, but we had set it aside for a Box Elder County woman, and so that's probably why most of them go here. But we've had people that have gone to, when we were giving the scholarship, to USU, to Weber, to the University of Utah. We even had one that went to a trade school type nursing program, but we figured it was further education. But when it came time to give the money over, because we weren't going to be an organization anymore, we just decided that we should, go local.
Some of their stories that they told us would just break your heart, how hard they were trying and how difficult their life was. So we felt good.
Well, and just to decide to go back after that time, these were women with gumption. So you kind of knew they were going to do something with it because they were so anxious to go back. Because, you know, it's not as easy to go back when you've been out of school for a while, you know. I mean, I could hardly touch algebra now, which seemed to be a lot of their downfalls.
Yes.
Because they had to have returned at least for a quarter so that we knew they were going to. And a lot of them would have these wonderful grades, and then they'd get to something like algebra, you know, and they.
Yeah. Well, yes, it was someone here at Utah State sent me a bunch of letters from people who had received the scholarship money. And they were just lovely letters and very appreciative and made me feel good all over again.
AAUW works for equity for women in education and advocacy. We were one of the big groups that was behind the Lilly Ledbetter decision about wages, and so we just feel like we want to help women be educated.
They were all very gracious, saying how it had helped them, that they had needed it a lot, and it gave them encouragement that someone was willing to have faith in them and help them go on. It's worth it. It's worth the work and the struggle.
She stole my word. that it's worth it. I've watched, if you know, you watch people through the years, and those that have managed to go ahead and persevere through college, even if they don't go into their own field, very often it helps you because they see that you went through and you did it, and I think it helps you not only in your job but just in your personal life. You have experiences that you would not have at home.
It's money well spent because it is helping other people. I mean, you don't see that, you just hand over a check. But it's helping real people to live better lives, which is what we want for.
It's really important to a student, I think, not only the money, but just the fact, the encouragement and the idea that somebody believes in you